All right, guys, welcome to My Mother the Narcissist, Part 5. Um, so I'm not going to talk too much more about the actual abuse. There's a couple other stories I want to touch on, and then I want to switch. So, when we were living in my stepdad's mom's house, his family home, he wasn't really physically abusive with me and Sabrina, but he was with my mother, who was pregnant with my brother at the time. And I can't tell you how many times I watched him slap her. I saw him do it in public once at an auction because she bid on something and he was angry at her for doing that. One time we took a trip to Yosemite, the only time I've ever been to Yosemite. And we drove in the step side. So it's a bench bucket seat. Dio was here, I was here, Sabrina was here, Maggie was here. They screamed at each other the entire trip. Literally the entire trip, and we were right in the middle. From when we left Manteca, drove all the way to Yosemite, that's like a 2.5 hour drive. Drove all around Yosemite, well, as much as they would let us because they were too cheap to pay for us to get into the park. And then drove, all the way back, and they were just screaming at each other the whole time. That's my only memory of Yosemite National Park. No wonder I don't ever want to visit it. Sorry, my roommate was bringing something in the room. So yeah, they fought that whole trip. It was awful. It was awful. And then there were so many times they got physical with each other. But one that really sticks out in my mind more than anything else. And this is why I have a distrust of police too, by the way. This specific incident. So we lived 3-4 blocks from the police station. And we were at home. They were fighting for something. I don't know what it was. But I remember being in between them in the kitchen. The kitchen was just like a hallway, okay? So there's the living room, the kitchen hallway, this little entryway, then a back bedroom, and stairs that go up to my bedroom. And I was just trying to get to my room. I wanted to get out of out of sight, out of mind. I did not want to be a part of it. So I was trying to get away, and Dio was at this end, and Maggie was at this end, and they were literally doing this to each other, and I didn't know what to do, and I grabbed my mom's cell phone, and I ran upstairs. Yeah, because I had tried to call 911 on the house phone, and he unplugged it. So I ran and grabbed the cell phone, my mom's, and he tried to stop me, and Maggie grabbed a butcher knife. I don't know all what happened, but I know I was upstairs on the phone with 911 waiting, and I heard the most god-awful scream that I've ever heard in my whole life. That scream still haunts me to this day. I have no idea what he did to her. She was 7 months pregnant. And then next thing I know, he's kicked out of the house, and we're doing visitation with him, but not our dad. I didn't want to be anywhere around him. I was terrified. And at this time too, his family was being all crazy. My stepdad, they were doing all kinds of crazy shit. At this time I was 11 years old. And they brought me and my sister into family drama. My sister was 7. And we went from being Mija, and princess, and baby girl, to being white trash, little bitch, stupid whore. These were 30 and 40-year-old women talking to me and my sister like this. I was really hoping that Maggie wouldn't get back together with Dio because I hated him so much at the time. He was so scary. I was so afraid of him. I was afraid of her too. I didn't know how to tell anybody how I felt. So when they got back together, I just kind of sucked it up. And we were at school. My mom and Dio and Maggie were picking me up from school. And Maria, Dio's sister, probably the worst perpetrator of this all. She treated me the worst. She came up to Maggie and hit her in the stomach with a restraining order. And she was like 6-7 months pregnant at the time. So I don't remember exactly. I was actually like trying to climb over my mom so I could beat her ass. I was ready to throw hands. I was so angry. I mean, these people were wilding out. I was a child. Why do adults treat children like this? They're children. So, anyways, we get into the truck, and I tell Dio, do you know what your sister did? And so he sees her driving, and he follows her, and he yells, pull over, I need to talk to you. So we pull into this cul-de-sac, okay, a court. And we pull in behind. Now they whip around and come straight at us, like they're going to hit us head on. And I watched Dio put the truck in reverse and try to reverse it, and it wouldn't reverse. His transmission had been sticking. I'd been watching him because I wanted to learn how to drive. So I was always watching him do this. So he just hit, put it back into park, and then put it back into reverse again and slammed on the gas. Well, in the time that it took him to do that, they got behind us, and the left rear corner of the step side hit the left rear corner of their vehicle, and it ripped the bumper off of their vehicle because it was like a 2000 Saturn compared to an 81 Chevy step side. I mean, what are you going to do? That Saturn didn't stand a chance. It cracked Dio's taillight and didn't do shit to his truck, but it ripped the bumper off that Saturn. Surprise, surprise. So anyways, so Dio and Maggie, or no, that's right, Maria and her little friend, whoever was driving, they drive away. So Dio and Maggie decided to hit and run, and they drive away. And they drop me and Sabrina and Maggie off at a friend's house. And then Dio goes and turns himself in. Now, Dio ended up doing 8 months, I think, or something like that, for child endangerment and vehicular assault or something like that, because there was a kid in the car. I still don't think he should have gotten time for that. The judge definitely harangued him, but what are you going to do? And then that's when the abuse from his family got really crazy. My mom and my sister and I, we all had to move into a duplex. And strange things would happen, like someone put a bullet hole in the driver's side of the windshield of the step side, right at, head level. I feel like that was a message. They would harass us anytime they saw us around town. They would harass me and my sister. And again, like, we were children. But somehow we were the center of attention of these assholes. I didn't realize this portion of the story was going to take up so much time. So it looks like I am done with part 5. I may or may not post part 6 today. Depends on how I'm feeling. I will definitely post part 6 tomorrow if I don't post it today. I want to say thank you to everybody for all the support. I can't tell you how much it means to me to feel heard. Even if nothing comes out of this, I feel so seen and I feel so heard, and I really, really, really love and appreciate the support from everybody. May God bless you, and I'll see you guys later.